Let's go behind the scenes to see what it looks like to submit an audition, from my perspective anyways. Welcome back to Day 1 Voiceover. My name's Robert Vienna, and as the intro stated, I'm going to show you a little bit of a behind the scenes to show you what it looks like to submit an audition from my perspective. Again, as I've stated before, I'm not an established pro. I'm still very much learning the process, but I've won a handful of jobs, so I wanted to show you at the very least the process that I go through, from deciding on what audition I want to submit for, to my pre-life, to then, of course, actually submitting it, and some of the technical aspects along the way as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up voices.com, and I'm going to show you what's available here today and pick from that list so that we can see what it is that's available. Now, here we go. I'm kind of doing this a little weird. I'm working on my laptop, but I'm probably going to record a screenshot of this on my iPad because it's tricky to do both at the same time. But as you can see here, there's a couple of options. There's a Bell Wave brand video, Brain Shift, the game, and 30-second radio spot. Now, I actually went through these, and the 30-second radio spot was a script that I didn't really click with it. I recorded it a bunch of times. I didn't really feel like it was right for me, so I went ahead and went past it, which is unfortunate because it's 100% voice match. They like my voice. It's the kind of the scene and the environment that they were asking for that just didn't click with me. So I'm not going to submit subpar work just for the sake of submitting it. This Brain Shift the game was interesting because it's a board game, I believe, and the script is a little weird. It's, all right, get your brain in gear and let's play Brain Shift the game. All right, let's listen up, get your fingers in gear and let's play Brain Shift the game. It's kind of repeated. I'm not exactly sure why, and there wasn't a lot of information to go off of except for announcer, charismatic, and confident. So I'm going to pass on that one as well. So this Bell Wave brand video is the one that I'm going to go with. Now, the interesting thing about this script is that it came across in a very weird way, almost like a storyboard, and I had to go and pick up all the individual lines. And then what I did is I put them in a separate Word document so that I can read them off that way instead of scrolling from picture to picture to read the script basically from top to bottom. So I'm going to jump into it, and let me go back and check again to see what the specs were on that. Real person, believable, conversational. There's a reference file, but it looks like pretty much the exact same thing as the actual script, which happens, yep, the reference file is exactly the same as the actual sample script. So I'm going to give it a shot, see where it goes. Now, one of the things that I've kind of trained myself on is not delivering an entire recorded script, especially if it's, a handful of seconds long, 30 seconds long or so. You don't want to necessarily deliver something that someone can say, all right, well, great, I have the whole thing now. I'll just run with that and go. Leave a little something out, right? If you give them everything, they have no reason to come back. So I'm going to leave a couple of lines out, but still deliver a good intro and a good ending in case that's what they really want to focus on. And I'll go with that. All right. So real person, believable, conversational. I'm going to do a dry read of the script here. In places where every second counts, where wealth is on the line, where critical decisions are made every moment, where data is mission critical and stories are breaking live. Reliable internet isn't a luxury, it's essential. Bellwave delivers fast, enterprise-grade connectivity through the air, not the ground. Bellwave, real people, reliable connections. Now that's me leaving out a couple of the lines themselves. So, first thing I do, after I've decided on the script I want to record, so that's what I have in front of me, I think about the pre-life. Who am I? Who am I saying this to? And where are we? Right? So what I'm envisioning is, so first and foremost, I do a lot of sales presentations for my regular day job, right? So I'm on Zoom quite a bit. I'm presenting, the value of the product that we sell. And I'm always trying to get that point across to really pique someone's interest, right? So I find myself reaching to that a lot because that's kind of like my normal daily activity. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to place myself perhaps in a different situation, maybe not Zoom. Maybe I'm in front of a room of people trying to decide whether we're the brand that they want to go with for their company. Maybe it's company representatives there. I'm the brand representative for Bellwave, and I'm going to go with that kind of idea in mind, as similar to what I'm talking to you now with. And now what I'm not going to do is necessarily kind of go with that tone the entire way, because it does say Bellwave, real people, reliable connections. No one talks like that in real life. But at the very least, it gets me into that flow. So I'm standing in front of a room. By the way, I'm going to lift this up because for the video purposes, it kind of gets in the way, but I want to use it as my windscreen. And if you notice, by the way, I kind of talk across the microphone. If I talk like this, it gets a little too excessive. So I talk a little across the microphone, and that avoids the the puffs of air and all that stuff that we're supposed to avoid as VOs. So I'm going to give this a couple of runs and see where it ends up. So again, and by the way, when I do my auditions, I sound like a crazy person because I'm in here by myself, talking to myself. My pre-life isn't just a mental thing. I talk through it out loud, verbalize it. So I'm going to just jump in. Here I am in front of the class, in front of the boardroom, I guess I should say, and I'm a representative for Bellwave. Thanks very much, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it. There's a lot to go over today, and it's really important that we touch on all the major points that Bellwave offers you. So we'll start here from the top. In places where every second counts, where health is on the line, where critical decisions are made every moment, where data is mission critical and stories are breaking live. Reliable internet isn't a luxury, it's essential. Bellwave delivers fast, enterprise-grade connectivity through the air, not the ground. Bellwave. Real people, reliable connections. Now, if you notice, I glanced at the camera a little bit. And the reason I'm doing this, first of all, because there's a camera in front of me, but honestly, because I do this technique where I don't necessarily read word for word on the screen. I'll glance away. It's kind of a look away technique. I think I heard it called recently. If you read word for word, then it very much sounds like it's a read script. So by me just kind of reading ahead a few lines and glancing away, for me, it tends to feel a little more natural. So that was my first take, and I'm going to try it again. All right. So again, standing in front of the boardroom and seeing how the room is receiving me, seeing what the temperature is, and again, starting from the top. Thanks, everyone, for being here. I appreciate it. There's a lot of really important things to go through. But first and foremost, I want to start off with this. In places where every second counts, where health is on the line, where critical decisions are made every moment, where data is mission critical and stories are breaking live. Reliable internet isn't a luxury, it's essential. Bellwave delivers fast, enterprise-grade connectivity through the air, not the ground. Bellwave. Real people, reliable connections. I like how that one felt. I am going to give it a third go just to see if I can make it feel a little more natural. If this is boring, you can skip past the next 15 seconds. All right. Again, thanks very much, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it. There's some important things that I really want to get across to you guys. And at the top of the list is this. In places where every second counts, where health is on the line, where critical decisions are made every moment, where data is mission critical and stories are breaking live. Reliable internet isn't a luxury, it's essential. Bellwave delivers fast, enterprise-grade connectivity through the air, not the ground. Bellwave. Real people, real connections. Okay, so that was my audition. We'll see what ends up happening with that. Hopefully, I delivered a decent enough read. Can you guys give me some feedback as to how that went, how you feel that audition went? That would be really great. Now, what I do is just a quick edit. I remove any of the spaces. You might have noticed that sometimes in between my lines, I leave a little bit of a gap. I do that purposefully to kind of recatch my breath, and then I just trim that out. And I have a macro script, which I did a YouTube short once showing you what that's like. But it's basically, it's a quick noise gate to remove any kind of shirt rustles and things like that. I'm still very much in a closet, and every once in a while I touch this or whatever. So it's a quick noise gate, a quick EQ just to remove the unnecessary low ends and to kind of remove some of the boxiness that can kind of get in this space. And negative 3 dB normalization, which I have to revisit because I was recently told that my files aren't negative 3 dB normalized, even though it's part of my macro. So I have to figure that out. But that is what I do to my auditions. It's very quick, very easy. And then I just simply submit it that way. Now, file naming is an important thing as well. You want to make sure that the file is easy to read, especially if you're not doing the kind of the announcement of the name. My name is Robert Vienna, and I'm reading for whatever at the beginning of the slating. That's what it's called. I'm not slating or anything, so of course, I want to make sure the file name says what I need. So my file names are easy: Robert Vienna, and then a little bit of the name of the actual audition, which in this case was Bellwave Brand Video. So I just do it that way. Now, another thing to be mindful of is the price. This is something that I'm still absolutely struggling with. I don't know if I'm doing this right or not. I don't know if this is good strategy or what. I was told once to not undercut myself and the industry by quoting the lowest amount that you see there. So this is $250 to $499. So I don't quote at $250, I don't quote at $300. If I see it at $499, I might still try and give myself a chance at maybe $450, $475, something like that. So it's a little lower than their top budget. But maybe the math is wrong because they have fees on their end, and I don't know if my quotes are putting it above then. So I'm begging you guys for some kind of info or guidance, advice on that part of it there. Sorry for the noise if I'm moving this. But that's really what I do. Now, there's a couple of things to be mindful of as well. I know I didn't mention at the beginning of the video, but I turned off the air conditioner in my home, and that actually brings my noise floor down to where I need it to be. My AC being on actually brings that up quite a bit. Well past 40, sometimes even 50, because my AC unit is right on the other side of this wall. So you have to be mindful of those little details, right? My family's downstairs. I know I'm recording, so they're trying to be a little extra quiet to help me out as well, which is great. So I'm going to submit this. I'm going to keep you guys posted on how it goes. I would love to get some kind of feedback from you guys to tell me whether that was right, that was wrong. Was I off where it says real person, believable, conversational? Maybe it was a little too announcery. Let me know. I just love any kind of feedback that you can provide. I love interacting with you guys. So till next time, this is kind of a tricky technical video to record, so hopefully it comes out all right in the end. We'll see. If it's on YouTube, it's probably because I worked through some issues. But in any case, I really appreciate you guys always being here. Thanks for your feedback. Thanks for asking questions and asking for this type of information to see how I do my process as well. But I hope to talk to you guys soon, and see you next video.